In today's show, if you are itching for basketball in late August and early September, well, EuroBasket 2025 is for you. Plus, Deni Avdija is about to kick off his journey at EuroBasket. Let's talk all about it. Welcome to Locked On Blazers. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Trailblazers, your daily Portland Trailblazers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, world? It's your past first point guard and Trailblazers reporter Mike Richmond. You listen to another episode of Locked On Blazers, available wherever you get podcasts and also on YouTube. Thanks for making this show your first listen. Coming at you 3 days a week through the rest of August and into the first week of September. Then we'll be back rolling along 5 days a week. In today's program, we're talking EuroBasket 2025. Kicks off beginning the end of this week, Thursday and Friday here locally in Portland. And then it rolls on into the second week of September with some awesome summer basketball. And this is going to be our preview of EuroBasket 2025. And let me just say up front, some of y'all know a lot more about this than I do because you live in Europe. But I'm excited about it. I'm getting pretty excited. I have paid my $30 to watch it legally because I'm probably not going to be able to watch it live. And stealing it makes it much harder to watch it on your own time. So I am going to watch some of the games, and part of the games I'm going to watch is Deni Avdija and the Israeli team. Deni's set to compete with his journey begins Friday at 5 a.m. locally here in Portland when Israel takes on Iceland to kick off the group stage of EuroBasket 2025. Let's talk Deni first. Here's what we're going to do in today's program. We're going to get into the whole we're getting into the whole shebang of EuroBasket 2025. It's EuroBasket is going to be the focus of today's show, even though we'll hate on a little bit on the America Cup here at the end of the show. But let's talk about first what I want to watch from Deni, and then we'll talk about what is it that I'm actually going to be watching and why I'm so excited about it. Because I am legitimately preparing for this, making a list of who's playing for whom. I'm pretty pumped to watch these games. I will say respect to Tom Ziller of the Good Morning Let's Basketball podcast or newsletter, as well as Seth Allen, host of the Secret Basketball podcast, and also Washman. Both Tom and Seth got me hyped for EuroBasket, and I said, let's go. I'm going to talk about it on my own podcast, indeed. So Deni is playing in Group D of this tournament. We'll talk about what the tournament does and all the nuts and bolts of it in the second segment. Let's talk about Deni specifically. He's going to play some games. At a minimum, he is going to play 5 games in this tournament. I also think probably at a maximum, he's going to play 5 games in this tournament, but there's a chance that it... For sure, there's a chance that Israel advances here. I think like a fairly good chance that they advance, depending on how good this Polish team is that I don't really know anything about. But Deni is going to play on this team with the only other like true NBA talent is a dude who's probably never going to play in the NBA, Yam Mater. But Yam is a point guard who was drafted in the 2020 draft, end of the second round by the Boston Celtics. But he's been playing for the big clubs in Europe, Fenerbahce and Bayern Munich and Tel Aviv. Like he's like, you know, he's playing high level European basketball, pretty much the highest level of basketball outside the NBA. You know, this is the cusp of. It's such a fine line between like star in Europe and starter in the NBA. It is very thin. And if you don't make it, you just like you're having a better quality of life and making up a lot more money staying in Europe than like being the 13th or 14th guy in an NBA bench. And that's probably what Mater would be if he came over here. So he'll just be like a very good player in high level European basketball. But that's Deni's best teammate. So really what it's going to be with Deni, and this is what I'm excited to watch him play, is Deni as the guy. Well, freaking fast forward to October, there might be a lot of moments where it's Deni as the guy. Now, he'll have more talented teammates in Portland for sure, but in terms of like, hey, dude, we need you to create something out of very little, that type of responsibility won't be dissimilar. Now, the way you can guard in Europe is different because there isn't 3 seconds. And I would say in general, it is a little bit more physical, although I would say it's more of a different physicality than more physicality. But like it's it is not apples to apples comparing EuroBasket and Deni playing with his Israeli teammates as it will be in Portland. But in terms of what I will watch, as I hope it translates, is what does Deni do? That's a tough podcast phrase. How does Deni operate? That's a better one. How does Deni operate in half-court sets when 10 defensive eyeballs are on him? Because that might be a little bit of what happens in some lineups with the Blazers. I think one of the big challenges for the Blazers this season is how they score in the half-court with the current dudes that they've got. Now, there's some players in Portland who might take a step forward and make that, solve that equation a little bit, but currently, as they currently are constructed and as currently I view them, how do they score in the half-court? That is going to be a challenge. And when they were at their best last year, Deni was an engine, but he was mostly an engine. Like the best version of him was in transition, but he had the ball in his hands a lot. And I think he's going to get the ball in his hands a lot this upcoming season as well. So in EuroBasket, what I'm going to be watching for is what does Deni do as I did again? How does Deni operate as that sort of all eyes on me driver of an offensive engine, like driver of the offense? Does he, I'm not expecting him to magically add this mid-range pull-up game he hasn't had, but how capable is he getting downhill? Does he finish a little bit better with his left hand? How is his shooting? As I understand it, they played warm-up games, and while they all weren't televised, perusing some of the box scores and reporting from that, it's Deni didn't shoot well in the 5 warm-up games. He just shot bricks. Some of that is just the nature of playing 5 basketball games, but you'd rather make them than miss them, even in the games that don't count in the preseason to the preseason to the preseason. It is some of what's going to make Deni good in the league is if he continues to shoot really well, as he did at the end of last season. If that's a more of a mirage than a thing that sticks with him over the next 5 years in the league, we will remember the time that he shot well, as opposed to be think of Deni as a really good shooter. I won't write him off one way or another, but how well does he shoot, particularly as an off the dribble shooter, as a guy who's on the ball, creating his own shots? Does he mix in some mid-range stuff? I don't expect that to be a big part of his game, but does he mix in some pull-ups, some floaters, some stuff that isn't getting all the way to the rim with his right hand? And then, are his strengths strong when you are the best player and the defense is completely keying on you and following, your every move? Can Deni just kind of be who he is? A strong right-hand driver, incredibly physical, able to shed contact on drives. In a situation where he has less talented teammates and the rules are a little bit different, can he still play to his strengths the way he does? Is he a terror in transition? Is he really physical as a driver on offense? And how does the sort of shooting and playmaking happen? And the playmaking, I'm might be a little bit harder to judge because of just the general talent around him. Now, they're not probably the worst team in the group just by FIBA rankings, but certainly it's not like Deni's playing with a bunch of high-level NBA guys, but it's more decision making as a passer. Like I said, I've paid to watch the games. I'm not going to buzz market where you buy the games from, because they can pay me if they want me to give out their website. But you can pay something like $30, 25 or $30, and you can watch the games. And so when I watch, it's going to be more like Deni's decision making as opposed to the raw box score numbers. I'm probably not going to get too worried about assists. I may get a little worried about turnovers, but in terms of assists, it's just you got to watch the passing. So the things I'll be watching with Deni: what is his variety like in the half court? What is his shooting like overall? What is his playmaking and decision-making like as a lead ball handler, lead engine on an offense where he is asked to be the driver of most action and the advantage creator of anyone on the team? And are the things that he's already good at, are they strong in this level? And are they strong in this level when he's playing with lesser teammates? I'm excited to watch Deni a little bit, but I'm excited to watch this whole field. What is this field? Let's talk about it. What is EuroBasket? Let's go nuts and bolts. We'll do all of that in the second segment, because while I think there are what translates for Deni is the number one thing from a Blazer perspective, this whole dang tournament is pretty fun. Let's talk about this whole dang tournament and what exactly it is in that second segment. Join me there, won't ya? First, I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have a full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch's built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. So you can link all of your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. If you're trying to maximize investments or increase your savings or just easily review your finances with your partner or family member with whom you live with and share finances, well, you can get a clear view of your financial health week to week, long-term, short-term, etc. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off for your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. All right. So, what the heck is EuroBasket? You've been talking about how much you want to watch Deni, and he's playing. I play at Iceland at 5 a.m. on Friday morning. I'm going to tell y'all, I am not waking up at 5 a.m. to watch that game. I'm going to go to work and work my normal job on Friday, but I will watch it. I will watch it Friday evening. Deni's going to play another game over the weekend at a much more reasonable hour, 11:30 a.m. against Poland on Sunday morning out here in Portland. And I will probably be able to watch that one, but no promises on watching it live. I'll watch them though. Next time you hear from me, I will have seen them. So what is this though? EuroBasket is a 24 team tournament. Those 24 teams are split into 4 6-team groups. So you got groups A, B, C, and D. And beautiful group D is where you find Deni Avdija. The groups are spread up across different sites across Europe. So Latvia, Finland, Cyprus, Poland. So if you're going to EuroBasket, you're not going to catch all 24 teams in one spot, but you would see like a fun group in a single spot. You could go to Poland and check out Israel, Iceland. The group D is pretty good. Along with Israel and Iceland, you've got Belgium. Unfortunately, no Toumani Camara, who opted out. Makes sense that Toumani is not playing for Belgium. This is a summer where he could have and still could sign a contract extension, heading into a big year where he's going to, potentially also get himself some money. Although the way his contract works, he really can't earn too much more money. But it makes sense that Toumani wouldn't play for Belgium in this particular tournament. You got Israel, you got Iceland, you got Belgium, you got Poland. Then you got Slovenia and you got France. This isn't probably the best of the best groups, but France is pretty good. Slovenia has Luka Doncic. Belgium's not that loaded. Iceland's not that loaded. Poland's not that loaded. Certainly Israel could be up in this group. And how it works is, so you've got your 24 teams. They're split into 6 groups, and they're playing at these 4 different sites. And then the top 4 teams from each of those groups advance to a 16-team single elimination bracket held in Riga, Latvia, beginning on September 6th locally, but it'll be 7th our time when the games are broadcast. Our time being the west coast of the United States of America. Figure it out. Get your Greenwich Mean Time math going, your GMT math going. But it'll be September 6th locally in Latvia through Sunday, September 14th. Again, locally here, it'll be broadcast in the morning on Monday the 15th. But you get a 16-team tournament, and there's just nothing better than single elimination basketball. I love the NBA's playoffs because I think the best teams usually win. Often it's the healthiest teams. It can be an attrition tournament, but it is hard to fake the funk. If you are just not deep enough and health does catch up with you, you're not going to make it. And if you are good and you are deep, often you can overcome the injuries and outlast them and survive forever in the 10-week long NBA playoffs. But there is something so beautifully pure about a single elimination tournament. It's what made the Olympics last summer so fantastic. The USA fighting for their life against Serbia, like having to, it's like, okay, Steph Curry and Joel Embiid, please bail us out against the number 2 team in the world. And they did. And it's so fun to, root for USA. It's like, at least you can root for them in basketball. And, it's there's something they're like when you drape the flag on whatever country you're rooting for, it's get that sort of emotions get a little bit heightened. It's what makes the NCAA tournament so special, is the single elimination. It's what even adds juice to the stupid play-in rounds, is that single elimination games are fun. It's the way basketball really should be played at its purest form. It's the high school basketball tournament feel to it, right? 16 teams, single elimination tournament to get to the finals. That'll be September 14th in Riga, Latvia. That's pretty dang fun. It's pretty dang fun. Israel's run through it. They play Iceland. They'll play Poland on... I'm going to do these... the times I'm telling you are local to me in Portland, Oregon, because believe it or not, the majority of my listeners live in this part of the world. Although, shout out to the glowing global fan base of Locked On Blazers. Thanks in part to the last 2 summers of off-season choices the front office has made. Welcome to the Israeli listeners and also to my Chinese listeners. Too bad that Young Hansen is not playing in the Asia Cup. He's instead getting ready to play in the NBA, baby. But so Israel play Iceland Friday morning, 5 a.m. Sunday morning, 11:30, they'll play Poland. Monday morning, 8 a.m. against France. That's a fun game. That's a really fun game. France is pretty good. I'll talk about the sort of the loaded field in a second. September 2nd, they'll play Belgium at 5 a.m. That was going to be Deni Avdija. What a fun matchup that would have been, but such is life. And then the wrap-up tournament play, Slovenia, 8 a.m. There's a chance, if Israel takes care of business against against the sort of lesser teams, like specifically Iceland and Belgium, that Slovenia will... they'll have a chance to... They'll be already in when they finally face Slovenia on September 4th. But we shall see how that one shakes out. Top 4 teams in each group advance. It's an awesome field. And that's really what excites me about this. I think probably many of you listening are much more specifically excited to watch Deni Avdija. But what I am specifically excited to do is watch high-level basketball played against games played with stakes, games played for pride, games played so EuroBasket, you don't qualify for the Olympics, right? This isn't like Olympic qualifications. This is to be the champions of Europe and for bragging rights and for pride, for national pride, and for and to win a tournament that matters to European countries. There are similar tournaments that FIBA runs around the world regionally, but Australia is not really sending their top line team in the Asia Cup. The United States and Canada really did not send their teams in the America Cup. Speaking of which, as I recorded this, I was doing a little research, what's even going on in the America Cup? It's being played in Nicaragua right now. It's a much smaller tournament, and it just has no prestige because the U.S. has already made the Olympic field for the future, assuming we have the Olympics. I guess that is really kind of seems like we shall see how that goes here in the United States. But the USA in the America Cup, led by the beat poet Langston Galloway, lost to Uruguay. I didn't even know this. I didn't even know they were playing, and they lost to Uruguay. Uruguay has Santiago Vescovi, who went to Tennessee last year, and I believe he was one of the SEC teams, first team or second team all SEC, but he was an all conference performer in the best conference in basketball. And this dude beat the American team in the Cup because they don't care about it. The European teams care about it, and the field is freaking loaded. Let's talk about who's in this freaking loaded field to close the show, because there are a couple weeks here from the very end of August to the second week of September, 2 weeks of really fun basketball with a bunch of NBA players. Join me in that third segment, and we will celebrate it. Still a pass first point guard. Still Mike Richmond. Still listen to Locked On Blazers. Still excited about EuroBasket 2025. So yeah, I'm excited to see Yam Mater. As I understand it, pass first point guard. I'm excited to see Deni Avdija. As I understand it, Portland Trailblazer. But the rest of the field at EuroBasket is loaded with NBA dudes. And I am, I'm maybe not let me, listeners, let me let you in on a little secret. It's nice to not have to record 5 of these podcasts a week. It does make my life a little bit easier, but I love the NBA. Like, the reason I do this is because I love it. It's fun to me. It's a thing I really enjoy, right? So I'm kind of itching for the NBA season to start a little bit, kind of part of me. There's a part of me that misses watching high-level men's basketball. I watch the WNBA. It doesn't scratch the same itch for me. I enjoy it. Like, I genuinely enjoy watching it. My sister-in-law is a huge WNBA fan. We've watched a bunch of games together, and I enjoy it. But like, I kind of feel the same way about college basketball. It's fine. Sure, whatever is basketball, but it's not for me. I probably like the WNBA more than college hoops if I'm keeping it a buck. But the EuroBasket is pretty darn close to NBA basketball. Rules are different. Court is different. The timing of the game is different. You do get incredible coach cutaways. Shout out to Seth Allen, who pointed that out on his Secret Basketball podcast. The coach cutaways in EuroBasket are really incredible because you might just see some coach you've never heard of yelling swear words, maybe in English, because the makeup of his team needs him to speak in English in the huddle. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10. But this is a loaded field. Serbia's got, you might have heard of him, Nikola Jokic. He's the best player in the world. They've got Bogdan Bogdanovic. They've got Nikola Jovic. They've got Nikola Vukovic, who plays for the Wizards. Like, they're this is the number 2 team in the world. They're the favorite to win the tournaments. Like, these dudes, Serbia should have probably beat the U.S. in the Olympics, right? They were 6 minutes away from shocking the world against a loaded USA team, and they basically got that whole squad here at EuroBasket. Germany, one of the best teams in the world. They got Franz Wagner. They got Dennis Schroeder. They got Tristan da Silva. They got Daniel Theis. 4 NBA players, depending on your feelings on Daniel Theis. France is not bringing their dudes. No Wemby, no Rudy Gobert, but they're still loaded with NBA guys. Alexander Sarr, Zachary Reese-Sachet, Yabu, that's Gershon Yabusele. They've got Bilal Coulibaly. They've got former Blazer great Jalen Horde on the roster. That's maybe not that exciting, but former Blazer great Jalen Horde still on the roster. Spain, again, not the same quality as maybe the golden age of Spanish basketball, but Santi Aldama, NBA player, Billy Hernan Gomez, Juancho Hernan Gomez, both like former NBA players. They'll be in the mix. Latvia has Kristaps Porzingis and Davis Bertans. Lithuania's got Jonas Valanciunas. No Domantas Sabonis, but still Valanciunas is a hooper and hoops for Lithuania. Slovenia got Luka freaking Doncic. Like, Greece has got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jokic, Luka, and Giannis in a tournament for 2 weeks in the summer, playing with a great deal of pride. Like, hardcore competitive basketball. What more could you want? Even the Italian team. Simone Fontecchio is now a member of the Miami Heats. Danilo Gallinari, stunningly still playing for Italy. I know he was playing professionally recently in Puerto Rico. Now he's back playing in EuroBasket with Italy with Tech 9, your boy Simone Fontecchio. Turkey has Alperen Şengün, has apparently a Dembona. I didn't know that. Furkan Korkmaz, who's famously requested a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers many moons ago. And amazingly, Shane Larkin is Turkish. I wouldn't have known that. Barry Larkin's kid plays on the Turkish national team. Pretty incredible. That's an awesome field. Not to mention Deni Avdija, along with my dude, Mater. Like, squad. Like, this is 2 weeks of NBA dudes playing basketball, highly competitive, so much sort of just like the national pride. Like I said, you drape the flag on folks and they play harder. It means more. It's like, you find the sort of, there is nothing more sort of, at least in the U.S., like politically uniting than just like, I don't know, give LeBron and Steph Curry the American flag. We'll root for them, whatever. Like, it is all of a sudden it's like, take down the French, let's go, type of thing. And I feel like you get that here, except like America is a relatively new country relative to European powers. We're talking thousands of years of beef. We're talking Nicholas Batum chasing someone down and trying to punch him in the groin. Like, this is really, this tournament gets me excited to watch hoops for a couple weeks. Typically, this time of year is when NBA guys are rolling back into the facilities. Some younger guys have been there. They'll be there all of August, right? And they'll work out and they'll get right and they'll get into skill work and weight work and all those things, right? If you're, You maybe took the end of July off a couple weeks and, the first 5 days of August, and then you're back the final 3 weeks of August, not the whole month, back in if you're a young player, back in your NBA city. But veterans typically roll back in around Labor Day. They come back right around the Labor Day holiday. And then you get sort of the unofficial training camp for 3+ weeks where, it's not official training camp. You can't be fined for showing up late or not attending, but, there's a schedule and attendance is generally mandatory for anyone that's in town. So this is the time of year when when the NBA starts oh yeah, everybody's back and the things are getting rolling. But instead of that, for all of these players, with the 20 or so names I just read out of NBA guys, plus shout out to Shane Larkin and Danilo Gallinari, you're still getting you're going to get NBA dudes playing high level basketball in the time of year when particularly it's the ramp up time. Instead, these guys have played 5 warm up games. They've ramped up. They're playing. It's a short window to try to finish at the top of your group, make the knockout stage, and then win a single elimination tournament that goes on for about 11 days. What more could you want? Fantastic. Can't wait to watch it. If you're looking to watch it, just Google EuroBasket. There's a million ads for it. You can pay to watch it. Also, if you're good at the internet, you can figure out a way to not pay to watch it. I believe in you, although I would never condone crime on this podcast, but I would condone creativity. That is going to do it for today's show. Friday's program, we will do a mailbag episode. I have the questions, but I will offer this as an opportunity for you, dear listener, who has made it to the end of this podcast on, the last week of August. If you have a really good question, email me, lockedonblazerspod@gmail.com. You might make the show. There's a chance. Lockedonblazerspod@gmail.com is a place to get in there. Although I've got some heaters that I've saved up from the summertime to answer in that show. But there's always a chance. And also, if you're a longtime listener, famously I save mailbag questions for months and months because I'm I like that one now. I'll put it in my little special folder in my email inbox and get to it when I get to it. So email me, lockedonblazerspod@gmail.com. Then tell your friends about the program. Tell them they can get it wherever they got podcasts and also on YouTube. Come back for Friday's show. Wake up at 5 a.m. and watch Deni and then lock in for 2 weeks of EuroBasket. That's going to do it for the program. I appreciate you listening. I'll talk to you soon.